I don't need it. I don't need it. I definitely don't need it. I don't need it. I need it!
Hey everyone, Thornton Smash here, and today we're going to go over the top 10 most anticipated games of 2022. Let me tell you right off the bat, it is going to blow 2021 out of the water. There are so many good action-adventure games, RPGs, first-person shooters. It is hard to make this list to keep things off because there's just so many good games. That being said, let's go ahead and start off with number 10. And first up on our list at number 10 is going to be Pokemon Legends Arceus, which is going to be a brand new game in the series which will be taking place in the Hisui region. It's going to have a ton of new Pokemon along with variants of current ones we know of, such as Growlithe and a few others. And the Pokemon formula at this point is pretty well ingrained into the game. You go out, you catch cute little Pokemon, you then fight them against other people, and you become the number one in the land. However, this game seems to be taking a little bit of a different approach, as now they are adding in a survey system where you will go out, you will watch Pokemon in the open world in their natural habitat, and then you will report back, which should tie into the larger story. They're also adding some small features in the way the battling style works, adding two different distinct styles, strong and agile. Just as their name implies, strong does more damage but lower speed, and agile does less power but increases speed. The only reason this game is number 10 on the top 10 list is because it is still being developed by Game Freak, and I just personally don't believe that studio is capable at this point of delivering the open world RPG Pokemon game that so many of us have wanted. Pokemon Arceus will be releasing on Nintendo Switch on January 28th of 2022. Coming in at number 9 is going to be a brand new Marvel game called Marvel's Midnight Suns, and it's going to be based on the 1990s comic book series Rise of the Midnight Suns. In this game, players will be taking over the role of a customizable character they create called the Hunter. But don't worry, it's a Marvel game, so we're gonna have all those awesome superheroes we're so used to, like Iron Man, Captain America, Wolverine, Doctor Strange, Captain Marvel, Blade, Ghost Rider, Magic, and Nico. We got GTA 5 up in here? That's actually pretty cool. I'd be willing to go bowling with my cousin Wolverine. But combat in this game will be turn-based, similar to other games like XCOM, which is made by the same developer. But between combat missions, you will be able to go to an upgradable base, because this is an RPG, where you will be in a third-person view so that you can talk and interact with other heroes. The game will release on Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4 and 5, Xbox One, and the Series X and S, along with Microsoft Windows via Steam and Epic Game Store sometime in March. Next up, we have Elden Ring, which is an upcoming action role-playing game, and what's really interesting about this one is novelist George R.R. Martin, the guy behind Game of Thrones, is actually involved in this project. If you are a fan of the Souls series, Bloodborne, or Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, you are going to enjoy this game, as it is the next release in that genre, and it doesn't necessarily break the mold. There will be 6 distinct main areas you can go to that have castles, fortresses, and catacombs, and a giant open world, and the main areas are interconnected through a central hub. They are introducing some new stuff such as mounted combat in this game, and they are bringing back that stealth system, which was a core gameplay element from Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. And upgrading your character will be different from what we've seen in other games in this genre, such as instead of unlocking skill trees that we've seen before, now you will upgrade your character by simply exploring the map, which makes it much more immersive in my personal opinion. You will also be able to play this game co-op with your friends if you so desire. The only concern I have about this game is that the story will not be written, or it will be promised in future DLC that will never be written. I'm looking at you, R.R. Martin. The game will be releasing on the Microsoft Windows platform, PlayStation 4 and 5, and the Xbox One and Series X and S on February 25th, 2022. Coming in at number 7, and this is one that I am personally very excited for, and that is Hogwarts Legacy. The game is going to be a full-blown Harry Potter RPG being developed by Avalanche Studios, and it will take place before the books. In the 1800s is when this story is set, and it will have the ability to have a fully customizable character all the way down from your looks, but also to your voice as well. We will have some unique locations that we have seen before, such as Diagon Alley, Hogsmeade, Hogwarts Castle, and the Forbidden Forest, so if you have arachnophobia, do be aware. Just kidding, I know that Hagrid released the spider into the Forbidden Forest, and that was well after this game takes place. See, I know my Harry Potter stuff. That being said, giant spiders will actually still be in this game, along with a bunch of other beasts, such as a mooncalf, dragon, hippogriff, troll, and so many more, and the infamous Dementors. Not much else is known about this game, but it will be releasing on the Xbox Series X and S, the PlayStation 4 and 5, the Xbox One and Microsoft Microsoft Windows in 2022. No official date yet. Coming in at number 6 on the list is Bethesda's first own intellectual property in 25 years, and that is Starfield. Well received already, as there is an early release that is already out there that you can play, but the full release will be coming in 2022. The third game in the series is actually being developed by Larian Studios, which is well known for their work on Divinity Original Sin 1 and 2, which is different from Baldur's Gate, originally being developed by BioWare and Black Isle Studios back in 1998. Baldur's Gate has always been a game based on Dungeons and Dragons, and this game is no different than that, and you will be able to play both single player and cooperative on multiplayer, and you will be able to create and customize your own character, or you can play as an NPC and just explore the game's story. And there is one other major difference: because the game is being developed by Larian Studio, which is known in Divinity Original Sin for using turn-based combat, this game will do the same. Like I said, the game is in early release right now, so you could try it out and see if you like it, but if you want to wait for the full release, it will be in 2022 on the Macintosh operating systems, Microsoft Windows, and Google Stadia. Wait, Google Stadia is still a thing? And coming in at number 4 is a game I am very excited for, and that is Horizon Forbidden West, the sequel to Horizon Zero Dawn. This game was a huge surprise to me and scratched every single itch I had for an RPG open world game, and the sequel seems to be expanding on that, with now underwater exploration being a new element they are adding, a wider and deeper map area that will explore the Utah, Nevada, and California areas, and a brand new weapon system with new outfit specific skills as well. One of the things that I love the most about this game is just how beautiful the world that they built is, but also the incredibly different biomes they have. One day I could be walking through a dense forest, and then the next day I would be in a desert, and it looks like they are expanding on this, as you will be able to explore ruins of San Francisco, but also go to Yosemite Valley as well. The game is scheduled for release on February 18th, 2022, and it will be available only on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. Coming in at number 3 on our list is actually interesting because technically it is already released, and that's Monster Hunter's Rise, but it is finally getting a Microsoft Windows version that will be releasing this year, and it will no longer be exclusive to just Nintendo Switch. Monster Hunter Rise is a great continuation of Monster Hunter World, where both games are single player and multiplayer up to 4 players. It is an action role-playing game, and the maps on it are absolutely visually beautiful, along with having great creature design and just a really fun gameplay looping mechanic of finding the monsters, taking them down, and then using them to create new sets of armor and weapons. And the maps are very similar to Monster Hunter World, where they are more focused on the verticality of the map rather than having exclusive zones like past games. The one downside about Monster Hunter Rise is that when it did release on Nintendo Switch, the Switch just simply wasn't powerful enough to handle the game. So therefore, I'm putting it on this list as it is getting a release on January 12th, 2022 for the Microsoft Windows platform, which should be the definitive way to play this game. Coming in at number 2 on the list, it's going to be the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2. And let me be clear here, number 2 and 1 on this list could very easily be interchanged. It's just we don't know much about Breath of the Wild, so I had to put it at number 2 on this list. We really don't know much about this game. We did get a teaser trailer showing Link and Princess Zelda exploring a ruin, and then we see the Hyrule Castle at one point. There's also a cavern with a corpse resembling Ganondorf that's held in suspended animation. We did get a second trailer at the E3 Nintendo Direct, which showed Link paragliding and skydiving along with fighting enemies such as a stone talus. We did also see some new abilities that come from an altered right arm, that one that moves objects backwards on the path that it came from, and another that phases Link through a solid structure from underneath. At the end of the trailer, it did announce this would be a sequel to Breath of the Wild, and that it would have a release date for sometime during 2022. It will be on the Nintendo Switch platform. And coming in at number 1 on our list is God of War Ragnarok, which I am super excited for. I absolutely loved God of War 4. I thought it was such a great progression from how they had done the original games. Not to say that the originals were bad at all, they were fantastic games. But seeing the natural progression of Kratos as a character, moving on from the Greek pantheon of gods over to the Norse mythology set, was absolutely fantastic. Adding in his son Atreus, the combat was refreshing and new. The world was absolutely beautiful and great to explore. The side missions where you fought the Valkyries was a ton of fun, and it was very challenging if you wanted it to be, along with these set pieces with the giant world serpent Jormungandr, and then fighting on top of a dragon. Everything about this game was absolutely fantastic, and I have nothing but high hopes for what Santa Monica Studios can do for its sequel. And the game will take place 3 years after the events of the last game, and it will deal with the events of Ragnarok, which in Norse mythology is the end of the world, or at least the end of the gods. And I am excited to see how Kratos' story ends in the Norse mythology set, and I am excited to see what we get teased for where this series will go next. The game will be releasing on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 in 2022, 2022 with no official date set yet. So that's the list I have so far of the top 10 games, but I did have to leave quite a few off of them. So let me know down in the comments below, what game are you most excited for, and did I miss any on your personal list? And until next time, everyone, have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.